Swirl a little bit. Live on YouTube.
Hey, YouTube. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? No, this is not a robbery. It is not a robbery. Rona's still out here burning niggas. Rona's still out here in these streets burning niggas. We about to get this thing started shortly. You know, as soon as we can join both of them, Facebook and YouTube, we'll be getting this thing cracking. But how y'all been doing out there? You know? That's good. All right, here we go. Facebook, what it do? YouTube, what it do? Welcome to the People's Network for Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. Peace, peace. I got my fellas with me. I'm my man's to the left, my man's to the right. Say something to the mic.
What's going on? What's going on? I am Brother Talk to Teach, Listen to Learn, your truth transfer engineer, man. Saturday night, I get a chance to hang out with me brethren, my guys, man. Outlaw Radio. What's up, y'all?
Peace, peace.
Hey, the people's on a Saturday night. Welcome to the show. It's the Negro Whisperer in the building with y'all tonight, man. Ready to get cracking. Hit like, hit share, hit follow, tell the people the show's on. I appreciate all of the love and support that I get because I come from a city where people would just assume that we don't support each other at all. And there's no love if you try to do something, righteous in the community. So shout out to all the men that's supporting the show, liking what people don't and all this kind of stuff. So somewhere to do moving forward. But it's a crazy week. A lot of crazy stuff has happened. Talk is here. Bull's here.
Yeah.
Bull, I didn't want to let him in because he was at the door like this. I didn't know who it was. I thought
this
it was
is not a robbery. It's not a robbery.
Right. It's a good thing cooler heads prevail, right?
Right.
Who does this thing you got?
Oh, this is my man's Paul. Paul, UTBS, unfit to be slaves. That's what the acronym for UTBS is. Unfit to be slaves. I love that slogan, man. That's dope.
Yeah, sounds nice, man. Is that another one that you
We did it the traditional way where we barter.
Yeah, see, and I noticed, like
I gave him some sea
Bull
moss.
gets a lot of free apparel and nobody else gets any. So that's kind of like what he does. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving the elderberry, but you be way stylish and nobody else. Hey, holler at us, man. Get these hoodies, man.
Yeah, get your hoodie, y'all. Get your hoodie. Get your Outlaw hoodie.
Hoodies, baby. Support the mission, man. If you want to donate, contribute, you want to be a sponsor, inbox me for the info. We'll talk about it, man. Rep your brand, 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131, man. It's Outlaw Radio, the original three. I think, when it comes to guns and butter, like some of us are familiar with this terminology, some of us are not. We'll talk about what that means and how perspectives and some takes on what we're going through right now with the corona and with just these semi-quarantine and social distancing. So you ain't actually said shit all week. We've been on twice already.
Right.
So we pretty much exhausted our fan.
Oh, stop.
Right. So tell us, man, where you at and what's going on, man?
Man, this shit is crazy. Like, we are seeing some shit right now that never happened in your lifetime. You never thought you would see sports just come to a halt. Right? Listen, they not even taking niggas to jail right now. Wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you need to go and apologize to everybody that you called a conspiracy theorist.
Me personally?
That's just one. One should do that, right? Because everything that they told you might happen one day, all that shit is happening now.
Some of it.
We ain't done. We
vaguely familiar.
We ain't done. We got the National Guard and martial, and the martial law, right? So this whole thing, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Lord help me. Hey, man, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think, well, to a certain extent, your face right now, like what?
It hasn't all happened, but it's happened.
What was y'all saying a couple years ago?
Hey.
So I mean, you got to get a conspiracy theorist a little, hey, okay. He's right.
It proves that white people do conspire.
Oh, shit,
it's a fact. They conspire. You know what I'm saying?
It's white conspiracy.
Yes.
A theory? I thought it was a fact.
When they called you conspiracy theorists.
I thought it was a fact.
Yeah, well, now we're on the snooze. I can tell you that.
Nah, that's why, we did Black Media 2.0. Shout out to Wanda Williams.
Mm-hmm.
We've been invited to go and do some things that are like, hey, I need a slot.
Yeah, and she keep changing her name, right? You know what I'm saying?
She's many people.
What up, cool?
Right, cool. Young, beautiful sister.
Yeah, she was our estrogen for a while, way back.
Shout out to Reggie Snow.
Reggie, right? Yeah.
Hey, women can't
come on in.
Wait, she's grandmothered in, right? So we went visual, right? We talking about visual. We're not talking about,
Yeah.
Morse code.
Right. Changing again. We we're discussing the nature of actually being that are teachers and whatnot, and say, that's what these parents get.
Right.
Now you see how bad your
little son are just now about to meet their kids.
Well, yeah. Well, since they started school, because once you got that built-in babysitter during during the fall and early spring, it was like, yeah, you in what? Okay.
But let's be concerned about the ones that get to face extra abuse now because they got to stay at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's some parents that ain't shit, right? And
man, that's foul. Anywhere children are being abused and misused is tragic.
Right.
It's just like we talked about the whole thing with the women, and we had a storm the other night, man, about strong women and strong Black men, and roles and who should be able to do what. It was a very interesting conversation. It's one thing,
right?
But you also lock down with your spouse,
him downstairs,
right? Do you even know him or her? Like, when the last time y'all actually talked? So it'd be like,
well, it's a lot of extra stuff, Well, it's as far as that gender thing. My approach to that would have been like the pro-Black side is bullshit. The pro male side is bullshit. The pro female side is bullshit. We're not gonna come up until we start promoting the Black family, the original Trinity, which is the man, woman, and child. That's when we all win. Otherwise, all that other shit is just divide and conquer. It's the light skin. We can benefit on simplevegan.com and shit.
The thing is, you know what I'm saying? We can complement each other. We can benefit each other. Yeah. She cooked the vegan food and she was vegan. I got the herbs, all the tea we could drink, all the detox, all this we could get it in. You know what I mean? During this quarantine time.
You don't have to be lonely.
It ain't
SingleVegans.com. This dude right here.
Shit, let's set that web page up. Hey, set that web page up. But we can
tell everybody our plan.
So we can benefit each other. You know what I'm saying? It works. It ain't about fucking. I'm talking about teamwork here.
Frank White
I don't like cooking, but I like good food.
Frank White said a nickel bag gets sold in the park, especially this week since we made it through this crazy week. Praise and libations, beverage.
Beverage.
Stay hydrated.
Oh.
He does.
Stay thirsty, my friend.
That. He does.
Stay thirsty, my friend.
Yeah, man. So, everything's shut down. Like right now, y'all can't really see it because I don't have my camera resolution like it should be, but I got like a really Corona fro right now. Like this is no longer a fade or a filly. At this point, it's just hair. I could never get hair to grow, forced to deal with your own reality because, like I said, you don't think about who she is, and you or he is. Then why we got to sit at the crib like this is like,
right?
That's pretty much. I'm gonna go in the living room and watch SportsCenter.
But wait, because SportsCenter ain't talking about shit. Like we tired of hearing about Tom Brady and shit. Like they struggling to find shit to talk about.
I'm gonna end up watching like Swamp People or something anyways. But yeah,
I found myself watching fucking Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, man.
Incidentally,
old NBA games. Lot of MMA I've been watching. That old shit. Like I can still watch a motherfucker get punched in the face a lot of times.
Well, see, I got a bad habit too. Like I am one of those dudes who I love horrible movies, especially Black Hood movies. like I go on Amazon and I'm telling you, they make like these ghetto hood movies in Detroit, and they be the best. Like to me, it should be so bad that it's good.
2.0.
No, it just be like streets, like hood shit. But it's just like,
get it because you get into the plot.
Well, yeah, you get and the people that's in it,
yeah.
And it's like, man, but this is so badly made, right? Like I remember when a brother was, especially with the GTA type thing, that was that it's had because my son plays it now. He's totally desensitized to it.
Which video game you talking about?
GTA. I said that right.
Well, you did. I might have missed it. Every now and then I read the comments. And
yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I don't play the game like now. Even if I play one, I'll be like looking at the
You
clock.
don't play GTA?
I don't play any.
We had a whole show named GTA. You knew a lot about it.
I'm telling you, I was one of them. I was grown. I bought all this shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, but at the time I was also an adult. I was probably 30 years. I was over 30 for that. So sitting now in this quarantine, and I want to know what y'all doing. I think because I'd like for people to call in and tell us what have you found to do
Give
now?
us some ideas.
Right. So like I don't play the game no more. I do my RC.
Played it, and I owned the game like I went into the strip club for the first time.
A virgin.
Wait, but my kids was in the room, so I didn't go into the upstairs room. They kept inviting me, and I kept like, no, why are you asking me?
I can't live in Atlanta. That's his middle name.
Let me tell you, Magic City got a lot of my money. Little Nicky's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that.
What I've been doing, I've been busy.
Yeah, but like nigga, you didn't ask me.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been busy as shit. You know what I mean? It sucks that the coronavirus is gone, but it's been beneficial of people when they you know what I'm saying?
He didn't have no elderberry.
That may be what it was. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was.
You don't think Walmart is benefiting? You don't think Walgreens is benefiting? Like, stop it.
Fortunately for me, I've been so busy, man, that people been supporting me like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
I've been pushing this elderberry syrup right here.
Talk about it, man.
Hey, look, and shout out to Wanda Williams in the chat room. She says she tried the elderberry and it worked. She needs some more. But this elderberry is the shit. I'm telling you. I ain't just trying to sell something. He came and got.
I just met the brother, so that dude is a stand-up cat. And just, you know, I got to get the discernment, so I'm already knowing.
Young entrepreneur.
And my spider senses didn't go off.
He's a young entrepreneur. He's a real.
I want to know what Talk did too. I'm sorry, but y'all got me going on.
No,
support.
do it.
Orlando Williams. Support. Connie Becker came back into Milwaukee and she gave me some toilet paper for you.
What's up, Connie?
She gave me some toilet paper. She gave me some toilet paper for you.
Yeah, she came down and when she came down and got her sweatshirt the first time.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
gave her the wrong size. What a businessman I am.
We was talking about the toilet paper issue. That's when it first started. And I was like, you know what? I just ran around everywhere looking for toilet paper myself, and I couldn't find none today. At first, I wasn't tripping. But I done got.
That's why I'm having a hard time understanding. Like when you go in the store, how all the toilet paper is gone, but the paper towels is there. My ass is not that selective. I will wipe my.
That's what I'm saying.
Please don't start this conversation again because last Thursday the shit went into wet wipes and all.
If I got a phone book, right? You know what I'm saying? Phone book pages work real good.
Like, I was at Target one day. I bought some wet wipes.
Look, let me tell you something. You should have the wet wipes and some toilet paper.
Right.
Real.
So you should regularly wet wipe.
Think about it this way: if you got some shit on your arm, right?
Would you just shit actual
shit? You got shit that need to be cleansed.
Right, no doubt. Hey, but did this right. I wound up getting some paper towel today, though. You know what I mean? I got up early, went to Woodman's. I've been trying not to go all the way out there, man.
Long ass.
And listen, that motherfucking line. That motherfucker. They got it so. Hey, they got this motherfucker so it's one line.
Yeah.
Right? That motherfucker stretched all the way from the registers, all the way up the freezer aisle, all the way down by the milk, around that aisle, then all the way down the back aisle.
And here's the dumb shit.
Back to the produce.
Right.
And then it started looping and looped around.
But even if you want to buy one item, these motherfuckers is not smart enough to have a fucking aisle where 1 or 2, 3, 4 items. You got to stand in line with the motherfuckers the sky is falling and they buying doomsday motherfucking supplies and shit. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, brother.
No, you're right though.
Hey, 262-202-5131.
You're right though. That shit was ridiculous, man. I was in that line for at least.
Get in on the conversation.
I was in that line, man, for at least an hour.
You know, it's crazy because like my wife is like online, like so deliveries come, and I don't know when they're gonna shut them down. But she's like, I would never go in a store, and so I'm not even going. She's just like, well, a food delivery will be here.
That's one way to do it, though.
But yeah, but I mean, just you know, on a regular basis, I'm like, I'm gonna give me some new clothes. She's like, where? You're not going anywhere to get any clothes.
you just scared the motherfucker delivering your food in the car like.
Well, you don't know. Grubhub my ass. I'm not with the shit. I'm not.
Hey man, hey, I'm at the point where I don't want no rest.
That's what we have. Sheila tell me every time you do a show, you gotta.
Wait, but we did it already.
I didn't do mine.
Did you find
I just
yourself?
realized.
What happened?
No, I just realized I didn't do it.
Okay.
Hey, I'm at the point though.
Let me tell you, because you been putting some shit online. Sometimes it make me hungry. Like I don't even.
And one time though, you made me almost throw up with the fried oysters and the gravy. I was like, well, that's not good.
Shit, man, that shit. When I fried oysters, oyster mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
oyster
right. And I'm wondering why would a vegan eat oysters? And
Right.
you had me throw
I
some.
forgot to put vegan in front of the shit. Oh, I had some bologna. I'm sorry, some vegan bologna. What that is, nobody fucking.
But you know what? It's not. It's not
Right,
bologna,
it's not
right?
bologna.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to put that in.
You just ate a soy patty.
Explain that.
Well, the big thing is I think people will automatically relate, especially our people, to Ving Rhames using this in Baby Boy, the movie Baby Boy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to John Singleton.
Yes.
And like people was, he gave this speech and he talked to what's my man's name? Black dude, black tie. What's his name? The dude. All of the bullshit that loses value as soon as you buy it. But I'm telling you that it's not that shallow. This actually is something that has been a term in economic butter. So do I spend more money on my military to make sure I can defend what I have, or do I invest in people? Do I say I'm gonna buy a lot for, but it ain't worth shit after you buy it?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that the gun stores, as soon as we get into this crisis with Corona, the gun stores are empty, right? Like there's who bought them? Because I ain't got no homies who said, man, I just went and bought me about 3-4 assault rifles and a bunch of bullets and some tactical gear.
White folks scared, man.
They're buying it up though.
They scared.
Now what are we doing? Because even in this thing we got right now, our black people buying like real survival kits, like what you just call doomsday shoppers, right?
Yeah.
Like I seen a lady coming out of Pick and Save, and in her cart she had 7 cases of Snapple. I'm not lying, man. I'm not lying. She said, she had 7 cases of Snapple, and it was like 4 packs or 6 packs. And I was just thinking in my head, like, she must have a lot of sandwich meat or something at home, because how is that going to help you
Right.
if they shut?
Looking at people carts and shit. And I'm looking at people, man, they got like 5 big ass bags of potato chips and shit,
Right.
a bunch of cookies. And man, look, if it come down to it, I want some food that can sustain me.
They don't need no guns. They gonna kill you with junk food. If
That's
they
right.
quarantine
You
your
know
ass.
what I'm saying? You ain't gonna make it.
And noodles. Like brothers is buying like 1 million packs of noodles. But the origination of this term comes from William Jennings Bryan. He was the Secretary of State in the Wilson administration. So we're talking about 1918, 1917. And this was all about a political argument in which some government spending had been questioned. And there's no doubt in my mind that there was some corruption involved, because
You said government spending.
Right. I did say that.
Same
So,
shit.
but the terminology exists to explain basically what we call the GDP in this country, which is our gross domestic product, which is how much do you produce and export, how much do you import and outsource. These are economic terms. But it basically brought, like we talked about, and homes and hair salons and businesses thriving, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never showed them with guns.
Gotcha.
They bought the butter. They didn't think about the guns. You understand?
Yeah, subsequently.
Erased,
Right.
wiped out, done more horribly than any other kind of, like, it's the most egregious act in the history of this country, and it's not even being taught that way. They don't tell the story that way. They don't tell it like, this is one of the dirtiest things y'all ever did. And for so long, it was swept under the rug. So I just, that's what I'm saying. You can invest what scroll on, which is the butter, or you can take this time to explain to them, hey, man, there's something going on right now. You need to be a little bit more aware than you have been, which is the guns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said guns and butter.
Okay.
Just solely Ving Rhames.
Thank you, sir.
I do what I can.
Title was, I started thinking about what I was just talking about earlier, about my habit of looking at people's carts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Looking at the different types of food they getting when you consider what could be going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want some food that can sustain me. I want some vitamins and shit, because what if a motherfucker will have to get out and fight and all this? Y'all want the energy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Like
I say, I look in the carts, man, and I look at the junk food and all that type of shit as the butter. And then you look at the food that can sustain you as the guns.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna buy? Guns or butter?
Well,
you dig what I'm saying?
It goes across so many levels.
So, yeah,
but when you're
does.
looking at the food to sustain you and you talking guns, I think the guns in this situation is more protection. Like, it's more defensive, can I say? As you know what I'm saying? So when somebody coming to take your vegetables, like, you're gonna use vegetables to stop them from taking your vegetables.
Or you're gonna use the gun.
That's
so
all.
You could have bought more corn, but you bought a 45. Now whatever corn you got, you can hold it down.
Because I believe the same motherfuckers that you see in the stores right now buying all the chickens, and they got a cart full of chicken, they got guns at home too. In case well, I'm thinking of mentality. Right. The same motherfucker that got a bunch of rifles and shit, if you try to come take their chickens. You see what I'm saying? So we got a lot of that.
But if you got guns, you can, like I tell you, focus on the food. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's just there.
That's self-preservation.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is not planning. Gunpowder versus and with metal, especially being projected at you at high rates of speed, tend to change things. I might have $15. If it's in my bedroom in my drawer, and that's the last $15 I got, it's not a whole lot of money, but I do have a gun so that you just can't kick my door open and come take my last $15. And I think it's about, you get a little, then you defend it. You get a little, then you defend it. And each time you get more, you build your defenses. So I would say you got to buy a little bit of guns and a little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter.
I think you got to do them both.
I think that's some common sense. Listen, the truth is always generally somewhere in between, in the middle. It's called balance, right? You know what I'm saying? But like you said, excuse me, earlier, I wasn't here. So I do want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel? What is your opinion on the way your president, Donald Trump, is handling things?
Okay, I guess I would have to ask you a question with a question. What did people expect? Like, did we expect him to come up with some real serious leadership skills and like save the day for us in this instance? Or
well, because the reason I ask that is because there's a narrative shift that's happening. If you pay attention, right? At least from the Republican side now, they're starting to tout him as the president. He's disrupting what they're doing, and he's not playing along. So there's something called, and look this up, because I don't know enough about it to have an opinion one way or the other. But if somebody knows about it, please give us the Nesara law, Nesara, or Guresa law, Gesara. It's a law that was put into effect in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, right around the time that the World Trade Centers went down. It has something to do with the trillions of dollars that disappeared, right? And that they had no in. Donald Trump asked to bring this thing into effect, which will reset all of the economic things and so on and so forth. And so again, I don't claim to be wise enough to be able to break it down and explain it. If somebody out there knows more about it, please let us know. But everyone.
You said
Nesara,
right? So
or Gesara law,
the National Economic Security and Recovery Act.
Yes,
in which they are discussing. It's actually a set of the proposals, which included replacing the income tax with a national sales tax, abolishing compound interest on secured loans,
debt,
and returning to a bimetallic currency. Will result in zero inflation in a more
zero inflation. So it's a reset of a lot of things that's happening right now. What they're trying to do is saying that he is bringing this in by how he's handling this. Right, this is the narrative shift that they are trying to promote him as a hero, that he is battling against the Illuminati and the New World Order.
That's a new one, because I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I know that a lot of people who support Trump, to listen to the smallest state legislature.
Okay,
See, like now he's a black Republican,
Mhm.
having a hard time trying to find space with these black voters, right? But I hear those voices saying, but look, y'all complained about shit even when you had Obama, and when you had Bill Clinton, and you had all these Democratic people-friendly presidents. Y'all will still complain. Now y'all got this dude, y'all still complain. But he's not even operating in the fashion that they were. He's doing whatever he wants
to do.
That let me know that I'm low on your totem pole.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about it because what is I call myself somebody that likes to question everything. You heard me say that. So I have to, things that you say in between, right?
Right.
So I want to address them because one of the first things you're going to say is that he was, maybe not the first thing you're going to say. One of the things that you're going to say
that pissed me off,
and that pissed you off, that pissed me off as well, is that he would not disavow himself from white nationalists. Correct?
Never has he.
What president has?
There has never been one.
Did
Even the black one.
Did Obama?
Even the black one.
Did
No.
Clinton?
L
than Obama.
Right. It's usual. Yeah,
right.
Except we got a white twist to it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because Obama was partial to people, but he was not. I don't think Obama ever did that.
Did he say, I support you black people?
He said my hero was Ronald Reagan, which I understood.
It's a white man.
Which people didn't understand.
So my thing, the same thing that pisses us off about Donald Trump, when I had to step back and apply that to every other president, it's applicable. Neither did Clinton, neither did Obama.
Ronald Reagan was the horriblest. Like, he was the horriblest.
But again, so we bashing Trump.
That was a laugh.
Probably rightfully so. No, if you do that 5 more times.
Bull said his hair is like wrong.
Again?
Right. I'm notorious at how did that happen? Type shit. But
female condoms. Listen.
262-202-5131, man. Call in, man. Rep your brand, please. If you have a black business, you got an opinion on what we're saying, or maybe you just been in the damn house with these kids all week and you ain't talking to no other grown people. You can holler at us, man. Once again, the number is 262-202-5.
Yeah, Stuart. She wanted she questioned, or maybe I didn't say it. It's Nessara, Nesara or Gesara. I'm just responding to that.
I got you. Nessara. You was like the first time.
Yeah. So how y'all been living with this? Y'all can't go to the bar. We can't go to the club. Stay 6 feet from somebody. No large gatherings. You gotta get your food to go. I want to stay here. Get your ass out of here.
At Burger King.
So that's real life.
Right. So I want to know how interesting placebo.
Pornhub has 100% increase in their viewership.
I see mainstream like Bossa is giving you porn, like 10 black adult film stars you should get to know while you're on quarantine. Like they do like part 1. I look at Bossa, like people like Bossa.
Who does?
I look at Bossa.
Okay.
With pop culture.
There are a lot of podcasts popping up, brother.
Yeah, this is not a podcast. This is just a website.
In addition, though, like you see all the people that's going live. It's people that they teaching us how to scramble eggs.
Black Media 2.0. We just talked about it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. People like, you got to be doing something. Like, because I know, like I said, now you watching TV. This is the shit you actually pay for, but don't ever actually get to that shit. So I just,
Crush Groove and shit.
Man,
right?
Come on, man. I'm going to be up all night and house party and shit. That's not now. Who got hair in their throat now? I'm trying to play it off. Damn right,
What's going on, sister?
We're in the building on Saturday.
We're going to be in the same room one time.
Sooner or later, y'all will actually meet each other.
I'm with James, bitch. Man, hey, y'all remember when he did that shit?
Oh, lie. Yeah, that was after Chappelle.
No, that shit was hilarious, man.
That wasn't too far before he passed or left us. But yeah, that was a classic.
It was classic. But like toilet paper, I think about I say guns and butter. But the fact that like people really went ham on they like that, people like you gotta find a spot to go to where people ain't ravaged it, right? But I don't know. I don't understand the toilet paper thing myself.
Me either.
Especially
as they go bad, right?
Yeah,
but we can't freeze them.
That's kind of a dilemma that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go get all raw, fresh vegetables. So what I wound up doing was
you canned them, but she froze them.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my mother would cook them.
I don't want
a Ziploc bag and freeze them.
I don't want no canned zucchini.
Let me tell you, but oatmeal is better than no meal. Like I would take some canned shit. I'm just saying. That's when you start needing the guns.
You won't freeze none if they cut off the electric.
Hey,
like people say.
come on,
get to a point, man. I'd just be time to fast.
Shit, I can't fast that long.
Let me tell you something. Listen, it is time.
Yeah.
Time to hit the street.
Hey. And that's
the squirrel safe in the
that's the time. Are we on each other's side at this point, or are we trying to take shit from each other? You know what I'm saying? That,
right.
You know, okay.
What we just said the other night.
You talked about bartering earlier because at one point that's how we had it.
Mm-hmm.
I grew tomatoes over here, you grew cucumbers, right? So,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Got tomatoes and I got cucumbers.
And we eliminate the government from the shit altogether. Because as long as money is the most important thing in your world, the motherfucker that prints the money is your God.
Mm-hmm. Or you work.
Let me say that shit again.
Some shit. Something
Play it back.
Especially when he cut it off. You'll realize how he cuts it off. Right. It's like, man. So like y'all was talking about getting rid of printed money, if this could ever be, there was ever really like some sort of theory that suggests that this virus comes on printed money, on paper money. So eliminate paper. It requires a chip to be placed up under your skin. So if you grew up with them old folks who scared the hell out of you with the Bible growing up, they say 666 is coming. That's the Antichrist. You'd be like, oh my God. Revelations used to scare the hell out of me when I was little.
Yeah, it was meant to. Right?
I'm never coming back. But wait, you better not lie.
But he loves you.
Right. And
he needs some money.
Right. And they also say he's a forgiving God. So you don't know what to think.
If you repent and give him some money.
No, come on, man.
Stop it. Get out of here.
It's all over the place like bird poo-poo. But yeah, man, so this quarantine got us going crazy. And I thought it was funny that Ben Carson took, and Ben Carson is the last black dude standing in Trump's administration, right? Like,
which says something, right?
People at the church like, get your ass out of here. They kicked him out. It was very disrespectful of Ashanti to go at Vince the way he did. And I put that, yeah. And I'd like, there's a clip that Ashanti goes at Vince. Vince doesn't have a chance to even defend himself. Or common counsel will tell us, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. We down there making it happen. We did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. Mm-hmm. Y'all should be happy. That's their perspective.
And I would tell them, fuck you, because you don't even know.
Somebody was in his mind.
I'm picking up on somebody's energy.
This motherfucker, how dare you coon ass motherfucker.
But you gotta watch it though, Jay, because Vince basically stands up and says, listen, he keep talking about his relationships, and this is what makes Ashanti look kind of silly. Vince is saying because Ashanti went first. He says, he talked about his relationship with block captains and how important that is and how he utilizes that to keep his finger on the pulse of the community to give them what they need. The only problem if he just didn't realize who he was talking to or what, and that's pretty much what Vince got up and said. It's like, I hear you talk about what you're doing with the block captains. I am the block captain over here. I ain't heard from you. So Ashanti got up like he was a bold-faced liar, and he got really Brody with him. I was like, wow, that's how y'all feel downtown? Like, because I wouldn't have been able to see, I'm not a politician like that. So if you came at me like that, I would have said something foul, like, hey man, hold up
in a nation and call somebody else a liar and not get struck by goddamn lightning. Like, for real, dude, stop.
I just know it was horrible. And I know that Vince, who's running in I think that's the first. I think that's the first. It's Tony.
Listen,
Tony.
Vince Tony got my vote, and anybody, listen.
You can't vote for him
Vince
Tony. You don't live in the
listen, write him in on some other shit. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything, just get that motherfucker out of there.
So, not in your yard, and they're saying yes, and then he drives back past, and his sign's gone, and it's an Ashanti Hamilton sign. And he's asking the people like, why? Well, they came over here and they called me, type. So I just think
he's a dirty ass motherfucker. Like, come on, man.
I think he's a politician.
Well,
I think he's a professional
politician. The best politician is the best liar, right? Ain't it?
That's what they be saying about them dudes.
Chris Brown said, fuck Barrett bugs, and it's true.
Shantae Hamilton, the biggest Barrett bug?
He might be, but he might not be.
Explain it.
Explain
something, Lucy. Explain it.
The reason why I have another agenda. He went to high school with him. That's his homie. But they already know when he's leaving, and it's a very substantial gift waiting for you if you play your position. Now, in your mind, you got your camp of people who say you should be the mayor. So they said, hey, well, let's maneuver like this. So maybe he is, or maybe he was awaiting his turn. I think that candidacy of Lena, which Bear at one point was saying, I think I might just step down. I think he really considered it. But then they said, well, you got all this on the line. And now Lena runs, who's also a Democrat. She's not towing the party line by saying, waiting on time or waiting on Ashanti. I truly believe that if Lena didn't announce her candidacy, Ashanti would have run. Which at that point would have showed I ain't his boy. Now I'm going for mine. But by Lena,
but you are his boy. So
you have been. He's as name brand as you are. You understand what? And black people here vote based on name brands. And
I agree with you 100%.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna agree to stab a motherfucker in the back.
Politics.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, we gotta do. We got to do it.
I'm a. You know. I mean.
Hey, let me tell you. I'll say this.
Okay. So would you be Trump vice president so you could be president in 8 years?
Shit. I mean, it might be a move worth considering, bro. I'm just saying. I mean, what you doing now? Like you know
But
what I mean?
But do that mean you got that?
Feel about Biden? Biden was the vice president.
I mean, all them motherfuckers on that level, I don't trust. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you can trust a politician. And I think people that have good intentions go into politics thinking that that's what they're going to do. And like right now, if you go, if you were to upset one of these, because our common council is like, the black members are all like black superheroes. Real, like they come dressed nice and say the right things and cut ribbons and go to, African children dance sessions and all this good shit. But I'm saying like right now, if somebody was to upset one of them, expect those other individuals to be about voting with you. Or you come up with some sweeping legislation, you going in there with on fire and guts, and you say, nah, but they gonna look at you like, bro, you're not even in the clique. You ain't even in the circle. You gotta pay your dues. You get no love. We ain't voting for you. We ain't voting with you. That, you got two ways to choose. If you start getting in tune with being part of it, or you say, you know what, I'm about to make so much noise that if you think you hate me now, you have no understanding. And both of them are ways to go. Because Mike McGee did it in the...
Not really about the interchangeable parts, right? Because you can plug and play a lot of these niggas into what's going on. And yeah, they got their own color and flash, and some of them got glitter on. But when you plug them into this machine, they're going to do their fucking part, or they're not going to be part of the machine. So really, if we want to win, we need to change the machine. Like, it's not so much who you put in the system to do the same thing that the other motherfuckers did before him. We got to change the goddamn system.
Right.
So the way the shit is working, it doesn't really, some of this shit don't really matter who you vote in, right? It doesn't matter.
Well, I know. Shout out to Millie Queen.
For some.
Shout out to Millie Queen. She was telling me on the other night that it doesn't matter if you vote or not. I disagree. I think, especially on the local level, don't get me wrong. The presidential thing with the
I agree with that. With the electoral college.
That's kind of convoluted.
But not
what you should be focused on more in terms of a national election is the midterms, in which we decide who has the balance of power in the House of Representatives and in Congress and in Senate. You know what I mean? Because in the Senate, because those are the people that will actually really drive the legislation. The majority always does. But on a local level, you absolutely positively have to vote. You have to vote for your alderman. You got to vote for your county supervisor, your state rep.
The state rep.
You have to vote in these elections.
I agree. I agree.
So she's like, I get where she's at with it. And shout out to all my conscious people, all my woke people, all my militant people, all my people out there on the front lines, boots to the ground. You know, they go like dynamite, browbeating politicians, doing what you have to do. Much power, much love, and much respect. But if you don't vote, if you don't get up and go to the polls on local elections and vote, I don't want to hear shit from you.
That saw Bernie Sanders get the popular vote and saw fucking dirty ass Clinton take his candidacy from him and tell them people that their vote matters. Explain that to me.
I think I started out by win the popular vote and lose if you get the electoral votes.
No. The Electoral College votes on the end election as far as who is the primary.
I haven't been paying attention. So maybe you know.
So last time in the primaries, Bernie Sanders won the vote. It was determined afterwards. Hillary Clinton went and did some dirty shit, some underhanded ass fucking politicians and dirty politics. Right. And so that dirty politics runs all the way down to your local shit when they start talking, wanting you to have extra ID, and then closing the place where you get the ID when they start doing the voter suppressions. And so what you're saying is true to a degree, but when they start doing voter suppression, which it lends itself to your point, we should vote because they wouldn't be sending so much energy to keep us from voting if it didn't matter. So to your point, but when you start talking about voter suppression and the little dirty little fucking tricks that they play at some.
Anytime you have a city that's 60% minority and you have a 13 to 15% voter turnout, it says a lot. And you know, people may agree or disagree, but I'm saying if we just get that election.
Yes, sir.
There's never, ever been a system where there's no corruption, no flaws, no change. So I mean, I haven't seen it.
I don't know if ever. I haven't seen it either. But I won't say never.
So even, of course, there's corruption in city politics because money is the thing. So of course, when it comes to conspiracies, I think that's the one place where I do wholeheartedly believe that governments, and in our country specifically, have conspired on conspiracies for a very long time. On the backs of the people. I've never done. Yeah, I bet you they was. When you look at
right, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
So no, I totally agree. But I'm saying when we talk about something as basic as aldermanic elections, we're talking about imbalances. No doubt. They getting money in envelopes, you know, and all
under the table.
Yes, but I think we as the people, you start from there. Because you start holding those politicians accountable. You black and you represent my district, we got a voice all the way up to the top.
I don't even really dispute that, or I don't even, but I will say this. When you start talking about percentages of who voted and who didn't, where you getting those numbers from? You getting those numbers from the liar. And from the mouth of a liar, even the truth is in question. All the polls and all the numbers.
So you think our voter turnout is higher than 15%?
I think that I question anything that the liar tells us. Right. And so I will say this absolutely. When they start talking about polls and whatnot, they do use that to manipulate our vote. Yes.
So you believe that black people are voting at a higher rate, but they're just not counting the vote?
I believe that, yeah. I believe that is just one part of voter suppression is when some of our from the light.
You know what I mean? I can't say no, Jason. They never like.
If you did too strong, I'd be like, oh, okay, really?
No, we'll never do that. Like this. This is black people 101, man.
It won't be my first.
Right. 262-513-1.
I love you, brothers.
Look, we didn't
talk is on the show.
Well, this one way you can look at it.
Answer the phone!
Right on time. Hey, you live on People's Network. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Orlando, brothers. How y'all doing?
What's good?
What's going on, Orlando?
Man, enjoying the show. I got my hoodie, brother. I got my hoodie.
I know, man. Yeah, man. You got the movement on your back. What's poppin'?
Man, it's good. It's good. Major role in my everyday life. As you all know, I'm running for the 11th Assembly District. I definitely want to upset the system and change the system, not just pull out a spark plug and put the same one in.
Right.
And I like talk to T was saying.
Yes,
I get that. I want to upset the system too as well. Being a Republican, I think we need somebody in office on both sides of the aisle. To your point, Brother Chad, that we need to have our voice going all the way to the top. And I want to have that voice on both sides, especially coming out of the Rona. You need to have some steady hands when they come back to these jobs and get people working again.
Yes.
That'll be a platform point of my campaign. Make sure folks are working and good paying jobs.
Hey.
That's what's up, man. And
yes.
But I'm glad you like talk, but you don't want to hear him get at no Republicans. He's not a very Republican-friendly guy.
What it is, though, brother, I vote for the candidate and not the party.
There you go.
You know, so I listen to individuals that agree with me, and those are the ones I vote for, brother.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I love the conversation. I think that's what we are as a people, man. We need to vote for the people who are if we true, both sides gonna be a black folk world.
Real talk. Real talk.
You're sounding very
I'm
unrepublican.
not tuning in, bro.
Hey man, we appreciate the
That's
support,
love,
man.
brother. That's love.
It takes teamwork to make the dream work. And we got you, man. I told you, send me that information. We're putting it all up in the People's Network everywhere, man. Vote for Orlando, man.
And look up
big.
Orlando.
That's big endorsement of having people who really care about the people, no matter what party, holding both sides accountable, no matter who you are. And I can dig that, and I'm gonna hold myself to it. Y'all definitely hold me to it.
That's love. Say that, man. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. Peace and love, man.
Yeah. So everybody,
bros.
Everybody listening to the show, look this brother up, man, and don't just
Orlando
say
Owens.
Yeah, don't just say he's a Republican. See what he believes in.
He's running for your man's seat, who just won comptroller, Jason Fields, which was Mandela Barnes' seat. But it was Jason's before that.
Well, you know,
but Mandela's looking like he's gonna take this city comptroller thing, which is a power move on a different level. But he's running for this, and it would give the Republicans an extra seat, which I actually have a problem with. But Orlando's a good dude, and we've had some very good conversations. He's objective and subjective, so those are the kind of people that we need.
Vote for the candidate, not the party, as well should you. None of these parties don't deserve our life.
Now, since it is Outlaw Radio, man, and the number is 262-202-5131. It's in the chat room.
Outlaw!
I got to tag y'all, so y'all got to share these. But Jason already got his. He brings his own.
Like, I am actually sitting here with these brothers. Like, if I just told you and I didn't record it, y'all wouldn't even believe me.
Unless you got Facebook.
These dudes, like, they can say they don't know me.
This is the power of what we do. Yes, you're a podcaster. If you just go online,
it's ludicrous.
You putting energy. You putting energy out there in the universe. And what's happening with this platform is so like Mike Tyson has this hot boxing with Mike Tyson. You know, Tyson is now like a weed head, owns a weed firm, like
way more than a weed.
Still just off the chains, crazy. Tyson. A white boy that knows how it feels to be a nigga. This is what Mike Tyson said to him. Now,
why do I feel like you waited till I came on the show to have this topic? You know?
Well, my personas, like I'm a hip hop historian. Like hip hop is the music, the soundtrack of my life.
All right.
So I've researched it. I grew up in it. There's a lot of shit I know that I should know about rap music. I should know something about something else.
It trips me out when he knows the hip hop artist's middle name. Like, why?
I used to read liner notes, right? Like, so I know Andre Gooden.
Right.
He wrote
hey, that used to be the shit, man.
It does impress.
Then you open it up and pull the thing out,
song by song,
read everything,
see the sample and everything. So no, but with Mike Tyson, like so on a rap between him and Jamar, because nobody wants to see two 50-year-old dudes battle lyrically or physically,
especially one that can't even rap.
However you look at it, it don't even make sense. So, but on the next level, to say Eminem is a good rapper, he's a great rapper, he's this and he's that is one thing. But to ever look at a white person and say, you understand how it feels to be a nigga, I think is a little bit too much ball smuggling.
I don't agree.
I think that was such an inaccurate. Like, I can say you know how to rap. I don't think there's a white person that knows how it feels to be black.
I don't think you say that to any white person.
With both of you. So you thought I was going to argue with you on this?
No.
But at the same time, I don't know if I want to argue with Tyson in person.
Right? Nobody does. That's why he gets away with this shit.
You're like, okay, bro.
Because if I was at the show, I wouldn't have been like Brody shot.
Or that.
Definitely.
I don't think you'd have been the first motherfucker to pull a gun out.
But then again, I might swear up.
Catch you with that right hook
before you go get your gun, and then you're waking up trying to shoot somebody.
To be honest with you, I'm going to tell you what, I would square up with it. I would. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if that motherfucker even pushed me,
you'd be like,
I was
Havish and Rotier.
Come on,
Physical passion and
going back with Emmanuel one game. But it's the new Gruber, the one now who smiles so hard when he says,
one call. That's all.
Man, I tell Mike, fuck you talking about, son? I got a 50-50 chance.
No, you don't.
Bullshit, he's high. He's high.
He would knock you out in the sleep. Like it would.
If he hit me. Shit. I'm trying to told you, boy.
Let me tell you, it don't even have to be Mike. Like you can go get it. Pacquiao.
This is not a boxing ring, and I can tell you something about Pacquiao. You know I wouldn't be scared of Pacquiao? Because he can fit in my pocket. I would pick Pacquiao.
He'll knock your ass out from your pocket.
If I boxed with him, I'm MMA. Like I'm not gonna box with you. I mean, Like, don't assume that you're more savage than the next individual, man.
No, we are just motherfuckers who don't get up every day to train 8
He don't
hours to
either.
fight.
He's 50. He don't, all he do is smoke weed all day.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Or I'm gonna win the lawsuit.
That was that right.
Can't
So I'm
lose
just saying, there you go. Take some
undefeated.
extra special insurance out and you'll win-win, right?
Your weed farm will become our weed farm. Now be Outlaw Radio and hot boxing with Mike Tyson. Right? Come on, like, you know.
I'm just
That's
saying.
that's why you can't never lay down for nobody because they got a name.
Yeah, which one do you listen to? Right?
And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I'm saying we need you like you. When someone needs to tell mine, who tells you?
Who gonna be the first?
You, motherfucker.
A lot.
No,
You
no.
tell
You
I
don't
don't
realize
care.
how huge
I
my family
Mike,
is.
you can
I
have
tried to a couple
You-
times.
you
Now
can
I
have
just
it,
come on
Mike.
Saturdays.
I got so much love. I got people who came who raised me from a knee high to a flea. And
Oh, you the done.
And they'll come and tell me anytime they want. First of all, I got a wife.
You the done.
So yes, who tells you that?
But then that would have been the correct answer. I would have shut me up if you'd have said that. I'd have shut up.
I'm just telling you the truth. Shit. I ain't gonna give up. Yeah. It's Saturday night, man.
It is.
It's 2622. As the people have learned anything. Even in terms of now understanding the fecal, the real, like, I won't say fecal, but the real, like, and it means the same, but it's really just how unimportant spending a lot of money on shit that doesn't have long-term value helps you. Because if there's a flood, if you don't have a boat, you got a biz, but you don't have a boat. If there's a Holocaust right now, if there's some sort of real shutdown, real serious quarantine, you don't have food storages, you don't have ammunition, you don't have guns, you don't have plan B, you have no survival skills, you know, you haven't invested in guns, only butter, because you got a lot of Gucci and a lot of Prada. It's hard for me to even, like, when we go with rap music, it's hard for me to listen to, I got a chain, I got a...
Still, turn on 100.
But I'm just saying with our artists, because now it's like, where are they now?
Yeah, right, okay.
You see, but like, I remember I went on tour with NWA back in the day. You know, you was going into Dapper Dan and all that.
I do want to ask you this. As you mentioned, like you say, you know, you're not going to say if, you're going to say when you come out of this, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to ask you, what's happening that it gives you the hope that we're coming out? What do you see that gives us any idea that this isn't going to get worse, but it's going to get better?
I think it'll get worse before it gets better, but I think we'll ultimately survive it. And I'm speaking of people as color because, you know, they've yet to wipe us out yet. And there's been some concerted effort via income disparities, learning achievement gaps, food, disease, engineering, control over your mind, as Big Rube said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think Black people will live, because we're people of the sun, I think we'll always grow and co-create.
Make them black.
Right, so everybody will be mixed. This will be Planet DeBarge. It won't be called Planet Earth anymore. I just resilient people, man. And I think our genes are very dominant and they're very hard to wipe out. And I think people have tried over hundreds of years agenda to wipe us out and do experiments on us to try and figure out what the fuck are these people made of? We can't get rid of them. So that's why I say we'll get out of it. You know, my grandmama, you know, I believe in that. Black people can make it through anything. If you Black and you live past 21, you a cold piece of work.
Let me tell you, brother, you are really right. Like, I don't disagree with you. What concerns me is I don't want my children to have to live through a genocide.
You don't.
You see what I'm saying?
You don't.
Hey, I want them to be able to enjoy it. I don't want them to have to be concerned with their survival.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want them to still be in the problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be concerned about, be strapped with the survival. Really, we will come out of it. But I wouldn't want to be a child right now. I wouldn't want to change places.
I'm sure my parents
It's
didn't want me
happening to
to
every generation.
You
know what I mean?
You could, but at some point or another, right? As you escalate, there's a peak.
Right.
Well, I don't think my parents wanted me to go through the crack epidemic. Like, because the world that they had fought for, in terms of, especially with civil rights and like Black liberation and Black be able to achieve, they didn't want me to witness what happened in 1985. They didn't want me to actually start to understand what the crack epidemic had done to us, environment, without even trying. Just because I come outside the house.
You're right.
No, I'm saying,
You know what I'm saying? You're
I
right.
don't think they wanted that. And I think you
You're right.
asked my dad, I think he would say, I don't want him to have to go to school and be worried about getting jumped by some dudes because they got their hat turned a certain way, or he in shootout.
Concerned about some shit that was
should have been.
So the same way, my kid might be strong enough to make it, but it don't stop me from being concerned about it.
Right. I think in our day and age right now, both of those are inevitable. Let's prepare them because we know the people that we living on this earth with. We understand what's going on. We see it. So we got to prepare them just in case they have to encounter something like this again when they get older.
You are,
and they may have to.
And you are correct. However, they got daughters, and I would prefer, because you're right.
I would prefer.
But I would prefer.
Right. No
and I'm still concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's kind of your motivation, though. When you run out of that, it ain't no reason to get out of bed.
Well, yes, sir.
I don't know, but you know what? What's crazy is the world's still moving slowly. It's a little bit slower, but I watch because I'm always watching relationships, especially in terms of people of color, and because the breakdown of the Black family structure is very, very, very important to me, right? Like, so I noticed that there's a movement to popularize anything in terms of Black people other than Black woman and Black male being together.
Yes.
You encourage marriages and this kinds of thing. So you see most celebrities now, Black celebrities, when they do, and Lonnie Love is the perfect example of this. When they do say, hey, I have a wife, like, but those same people who are married to those people, when they have a product, a movie, a concert, an album that they want to sell, they bring it back to us. You know, those people say, no, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. But then when they make a love song, Keke Palmer now is with this white dude, and yeah, she's with this white dude, and she was just doing my melanin last year. Keke was dancing in the hallway. My melanin, it's like Serena with the Black Panthers 1 year, and then 6 months later she
married.
She with the white dude, like so. And there's nothing wrong with the interracial dating thing. I'm just saying that narrative is sold to us very aggressively because I watch a lot of commercials. And I watch the people who play in the commercials. What? Like, I seen a commercial about adopting foster children, and they made a point to show two dudes with the kids too. Her girlfriend is a stud who's famous on YouTube type shit. Like, and this is like, yay. You know what I mean? So I don't see the narrative that Black men and Black women should be together and create beautiful Black children and raise beautiful Black families and establish beautiful Black legacies. I don't see that message. I see, no, go get a boy. If you're a boy, girl, go get a girl. Like, don't even get a natural understanding of.
And even if you do get into a heterosexual relationship, 80% of the time you're going to see the white man got him a good Black witch.
Well,
even when they show interracial shit, very seldom do you see the Black man with the white woman. They will show you the white man who got him a sister. Right. See what I'm saying? So the last thing they will ever promote is Black father, Black mother, Black children.
And that's what I think.
And you see Black women that praise that Black woman.
Yeah, God,
she done came up. Prince Harry now. She done came up.
And they got called a nigger by the whole royal family and had to move to Canada.
But if that same girl was with me, the way she looked, I'd be all kind of cool.
Right. Queens.
Right.
The ones that are
the part.
The white man, you're not us.
Right.
Well, now, I didn't want to, because I was accused of this.
I said it.
I was accused because we were having a conversation about some LGBTQ type situations, and I think it was Michael Milersky who always calls. I'm not finna talk until I'm blue in the face to tell you why you shouldn't do it. But I'm just saying, let's stop force feeding that and telling children who are 10 and 11 years old or 9 and 10 years old, okay, you're gay, but they don't even understand sex or sexuality, or it's not something that a little young child should even be dealing with.
And if you're a father and you feel enough sugar, right? They would eat
all day,
sugar all day
for breakfast.
But as a father, it's for you to step in and understand that your child doesn't know any better, right? So if you're a father and you understand that, but you'll let your little boy tell you he wants to be a little girl, and you feel like he knows what he wants at the same time, where you got to tell him what to eat so he will stay alive. What kind of father are you?
Right. Well, you know, one of your jobs is leading your children.
Okay.
When you're 12 years old, talking about I'm your daughter, No, let me show you the right way.
Well,
That's how-
even
Dwayne
that's how
Wade
it
lets
goes.
his wife call him a bitch, and he dresses like one. So you know what I'm saying? It's natural. For him.
even if, but like, okay, so me as a father, I'm saying this. Even if you exhibit these traits, right? Like I'm your father. I'm there. I'm saying like something ain't right with that boy. That boy, I can tell you. What I'm gonna tell you, even when you come to me and say, "Dad, I'm gay," I'm saying, "Wait a minute, son. You know, do what you do and live your life and be you, but you're not ready to make that decision yet. I'm not gonna let you wear that label this early. Keep doing what you do. You'll keep growing. You'll keep learning, and we'll see how you feel when you become a man. If that's your decision, when you become a man, then it's out of my hands. But I'm not going to encourage the behavior. When you say, "Daddy, I don't want," I say, "Well, bro, you know, around here you got to wear pants."
When you get grown.
Act, you know, when in Rome, right?
So again, Dwayne Wade, that Hollywood shit really got you like that?
Well, I would think it's crazy that
Before he was with Gabriella Union, he was with his first wife and his kid.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that bullshit. And his first
he
wife,
might have been.
well, his first wife says he, right? And I'm just talking about that. I could be totally wrong, but from what I see, from what I understand, you're doing your child a injustice.
Well, even when we say like Black Media 2.0, we talk about the importance of us being able to like be able to keep everything in context. And you say, well, we hated LeVar Ball. Absolutely, positively hated, not you.
No.
But in terms of what a black father is,
Yes, sir.
you hated him for saying, "I'm not going to allow the NCAA to pimp my son." They all made a certain amount of money before they were a certain age. Now, their traditional paths to the NBA have changed because of what he's done. Now, the youngest one is about to be a lottery pick.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is already in the G League, and then the other one was a first-round draft pick. Mission accomplished.
None of them are in the WNBA.
No.
Right.
So I got more respect for him than I do Dwayne Wade.
And you should, because here's a man who, and he would say on SportsCenter, which would piss everybody off, is they ain't your sons, they mine.
Right.
I could.
And we all, and listen, anybody that believed that shit was just dumb as hell.
They deserve
Right.
a big fat.
But it was clickbait, right? And it got you to tune in and it got you to pay attention and know who his sons were, which was the point all along.
So I'm saying when you compare
Crazy like a fox.
how the media kind of, just kind of perpetuates, what a black father is or what a black mother is. I see like they do brothers, but like I see like right now, because I have to reference hip hop because hip hop is, like I said, it's my love.
Yes, sir.
But the movement now for women to really get away, for black women to really get on, is to be able
To have a
basically
prostitute
shake her.
mindset.
Because I love Meg Thee Stallion.
Prostitute slash hooker.
I love Meg Thee Stallion because she's a beautiful black young sister. Beneath all of the makeup and all that, she's a beautiful sister, and with no surgery that we know of, and not like physically enhanced. But my problem is,
What makes her?
I think she has beautiful black woman features.
She looks good.
I think until she took a hacksaw to her face, right? Like
She didn't think she
She
was
put
pretty.
that big ass eraser on her.
So I'm worried about now with Meg Thee Stallion that when all this is done about, you got a big old booty and you can shake it and you can dress scandalous and you can talk about how sexually, because like I said, I like women who are that forward, like in terms of being able to express themselves. Not like, I'm screwing you, fuck you, give me some money. Not that, but I like a woman who's sure of herself. And I think a lot of brothers do little kids.
But it's a bigger girlish type of mindset.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's
You know
popping
what I'm
now.
saying? Now the problem with that is the girls that's seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that all this shit is an act for Megan Thee Stallion. They don't know she went to college and did her damn thing.
Right.
You know
She
what I'm saying?
graduated yet.
All they see is the prostitute
Yeah, they hear that.
talking about the money I take from a nigga. I suck his dick and do this, and he gonna pay me.
And you said what? You said what about her? She's a good art. What's she?
I don't agree with.
She ain't no dummy by far.
I think she's a
But
beautiful woman.
I just know
I think
she playing off of that whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What
and
the
she's
industry
allowing that
want.
to define her.
Exactly. I give her that.
And she has an old school kind of style. Like she rap traditional Houston. If you've been, like I'm a fan of the Houston rap scene.
Yes,
So
you do.
she got that kind of old school thing, but they own twist to Chicago, like drill rap and shit. Like even the dudes in Detroit, Eminem's camp, D12, and all, they got their own sounds. So I'm just saying, it's gonna be sad to watch her get lost in this, because at the end of the day, she's gonna realize I gotta be valued for more than my ass.
If you have something to be valued more than your ass, let me tell you.
Okay.
For me, don't be mistaken. At no point will I ever deny. Do I like nice thick thighs? You can have all that shit and be stacked top to bottom and open your mouth and reveal yourself as ugly and a motherfucker. And once you do that, I don't give a fuck what you look like. You ugly from the inside.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So listen, so as much as you show yourself to be used and do anything to be accepted by the white, you ugly. I don't give a fuck what you look like or how black your skin is.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all make those mistakes when we're young.
No,
And she's young right
I don't
now.
think we do all make those mistakes.
I made them. Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes. Did you make some?
I made some, but I didn't make those.
They all the same.
They not all the same.
But because I think she's shaking the difference between her shaking her ass for some money and me willing to ride on a cat because they wasn't from where I was from.
Would you strip?
It's equally stupid. I was almost down there about to shoot another brother
Would
down.
you be a stripper?
No, I wouldn't have took my clothes off.
Why not?
Because that's what was there for. That wasn't an option for me.
Say, right,
it wasn't an option.
Why not?
Nobody say either you can bang with us or you got to go
so I'm just
dance.
So compare to my whether
no, but I said that was
ready.
I said that was my mistake that I made. She's making mistakes now.
I never want to speak of your mistakes.
Them the type of mistakes women make, and he said these type of mistakes he make, like most men.
They're all mistakes.
I'm just talking about
made by young.
I'm just talking about the stallion specifically. Like we can compare. We can go and say, the CEO in China the same. I don't know about that. I'm talking about this bitch.
I think she's making typical young sister mistakes.
I think
typical young brother mistakes.
I think somebody should show her that she's making those mistakes.
Unfortunately, her mom passed away of brain cancer, who was actually her manager and was guiding her career. And I think losing that, to lose your mama who was your manager, I think that kind of strips you of. Now it's like, well, who do I trust? Like, who am I supposed to listen to? So I just think there's a lot going on with the sister, and I just hope she don't get lost. That's all.
So here's the thing: I hope her in her personal life, I hope she ends up being a success and finding people.
Doing though, what I think she's doing, like I said,
sound check.
She playing off of what the industry want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, to get money.
A porn star,
and I like her moves and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But again, I don't like her portraying that role like that because it's got like our daughters and shit.
Well, if you watch Love and Hip Hop, the parallel to that is you watch Love and Hip Hop, right? And this is right now, if you pay attention still to the trends, and I do, with young female style that, and she called it ratchet rap, and that's like the style now. So for females to just come out and just, and I'm like, well, no, sisters, this ain't what y'all want to get y'all over. Right. That ain't what you want. So it's a movement. And I guess that kind of trickles down to young girls.
I want to see some sisters come out, man, kicking some information, dropping some knowledge and code.
I don't buy none of that shit.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to put pressure on anybody, the artist is just going to where they can get signed. The motherfuckers that signing the artist is what determining what you get with here and what's getting promoted. So I'm just saying, somebody can say I admire Jada Fire too, but that's the last person I'm gonna, send my children to be after or be like.
You would let her babysit?
She could babysit me, mom. But other than that, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that so many different ways. I'm getting better with my age.
I'm just saying. Listen.
I get what you're saying. I'm noticing that trend in female rap, and I know for a long time females have been trying to like put their print on hip hop music as contributors. And I say to sisters, I don't think this is gonna be the way y'all get in.
It ain't gonna last.
What was the first?
It won't last.
What was the first one? The first chick, Choice One. You remember Choice?
Talking about Choice Music.
Yeah, hip hop snob. So she was the first one that I know of.
Roxanne Shante was actually.
She came a little more raunchy.
You talking about the raunchy?
She came more raunchy. She was the first.
She did the joint with Too Short. That's about all I remember.
Choice never did a song with Too Short.
You sure?
I'm positive.
I just remember.
You talking about the sisters that was on Don't Fight the Feeling.
Yeah.
That was Enticing Barbie. It was in a group called Danger Zone.
So they didn't last long either.
So that
was never her from.
Well, I'm saying that was right. So that's where that originated from, right? So she's not innovative.
They went before Choice though. I'm glad you said that because it was that little nasty.
Well, but then she wanted to turn into an old Chinese man, right? So either way, we don't know.
Or old Chinese doll.
Fuck out of here.
She's
Let me tell you, she's the last example I would use for Terrardi, right? And you're Terrardi.
Yeah, man. So it's a lot, I just think we have to. This is a conversation that you can have Like, I couldn't have this conversation with my daughter because my daughter's going. All of this is a direct result of you making the wrong decisions in terms of how you choose your mate. So the strip club culture, it's okay for you to be a stripper and be a hoe and
Is it?
advantage of this because men are basically dumb when you shake your booty and flash your breasts at them. If you got some that are worth looking at, that's their theory.
There is a theory. Let me tell you what but here's the thing: when it's time to be with, they won't mistake a get with for a be with. A get with gets tossed to the side because that's not anybody you would want to be with. So you might got.
The show we just did Thursday was so good because Liz was on fire, and what I was saying was
always on fire.
We don't need to disrespect hoes. Like I was saying, like it's not.
Well, her thing was like if you slept with her, you shit because in the Bible. A man could sleep, he could have a concubine, he could have a handmaid. The only time adultery was used was if you slept with a woman who had a husband. That's the only time there was adultery. A man could have a wife and have a lot of different things going on. So I'm just saying, express your anger where it needs to go. So when you start getting that
stop saying, if I can think of a flaw in the way the old folks raised us, I think that's one where we give men props for being hoes, because if you grew up in our hood and
African heritage, because the fact of the matter is, this is a fact, is that there are more women on the earth than men. Correct?
Yeah, rightfully so.
So if you want to believe that there's somebody,
thank you.
If there's somebody for everybody, then you need to go back the way we used to do it before the Western world brought this bullshit to us. One man had more than one wife. Right. So you want to talk about ancestors, you want to talk about Africanism, you want to talk about it going back to the way it was. Well, there was a double standard because black men had more than one wife. There's not too many instances where a wife had more than one husband. So,
young ladies, not to fall victim to, because once again, you get in trouble. You find that you think you know everything when you're a young adult, and you find that you go out into this world and you stumble. Almost like society beats her down, as opposed to the brother who does this, and you say, "Hey man, that dude's a real one, dog. That dude, man, he's knocking down anything." And a lot of us made the mistake, and this is why we have a black fatherhood crisis now, because a lot of people in my generation made that mistake of, man, fuck the bros, man, fuck them hoes. We did. The brothers got like 7 kids by like 8 women. Like it's crazy.
And you know what? Fortunate.
And they ain't about polygamy. They just was out here barebacking everybody.
That lifestyle.
Women would sleep. It takes two. Men wouldn't sleep with themselves. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
That also goes with damn, I forgot what I was saying.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry, man. But here, let me say this. So because we're talking about that's the case. Okay. I think women are being praised right now for being hoes. You know what I'm saying? I think you got women at the motherfucking grocery store doing cucumber challenges and shit.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing as the Meg Thee Stallion conversation we just had.
That's the only thing left in the grocery stores.
Meg Thee Stallion getting praised for having the whole prostitute.
Right. So I don't think that double standard shit is gone.
I just think still like.
They're praising them for being hoe. You get praised to be a hoe. Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, your Minaj is your whole shit. This double standard that we used to talk about, that we used to get after women for being hoes. They're being praised for being hoes. Right now, the #1 hip hop female artist is who? Claim it. What's the Cardi B? Fuck with me. You fuck with him and get some money. You saying I'm
dropping roof.
I'm just saying. So all you bitches is hoes. That's what's being that double standard shit. Stop. That shit is played. It don't exist.
I think it still does. There are a lot of women who still feel women who are still trying to live a good lifestyle still are dealing with that double standard. There has to be, like, it's not affects them the most. So when they look at it and say, but if I do that, if I do jump out there and do that, yeah, it's gonna be some people. It's like jumping out there being a gangster. It's gonna
all the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got some people be like, oh, that's a real ass nigga right there.
He's destroying your community
because he has plenty money. That's a real ass nigga.
But it's some people
you gonna support them motherfuckers, right?
But really,
hold on. He said a key that opens all locks is a master key. A lock that any key can open is a bad lock.
Hey, what's up? That's what's up.
Yeah.
I've heard that before too. These MAGA hats, you driving me crazy, because I support you, but you killing me with this.
With the MAGA hat, like making America great again. When was that? Give me in a year.
But they planting drugs and just framing people and lying and shit. Just,
No,
have you seen how many videos are being released about this
there's
shit?
just videos being
Well,
released.
they've been doing
They've
it,
been
but
doing this shit, right?
It's
yeah.
just hard. It's hard for me to support somebody who hates black people.
I only love black people.
Okay.
He didn't.
Well,
Well, I mean, I don't know how he feel, but he didn't show it.
He didn't show it
But
no
this
more than
mother-
Trump showed.
This motherfucker Trump said it pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, but you can listen to. And so I'm really looking, and the enemy of mine, the enemy of information for me is the press, the Associated Press. So the fact for me that they begin to keep going at him so hard makes me. The only difference is Obama carried out an order to go kill an African Umar Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying, over there in Libya, but he supposedly killed Bin Laden as well, right? So
right.
you know what I'm saying. So he got a record of going after people of color.
The Zionism, Obama was engaged in some heavy
And
Zionism.
let's not talk about how much support he gave to the Zionists in Israel. You see what I'm saying?
He was a Zionist.
So I'm just saying, it's like I'm not a Trump supporter, but goddamn,
I would think the one thing that Obama didn't do was what Trump has created some energy amongst white supremacists and racist white people, that they have become more aggressive and more overt with their racism. And it's kind of like what he represents. And I don't think Obama had that same energy. I don't think he brought that kind of thing to the table. I think black people wasn't out here riding hard, being extras. To me, Trump represents white supremacy and white privilege and these kinds of things in our country. And I have a problem with that. So legislatively and policy-wise, I don't think there is too much difference in between them. Because politics is politics is politicians and politicians. So that's why I reserve the right to not vote for him.
Absolutely. But my question is this: what you just accused him, did he do that, or did the media do that?
I think anytime you have rallies where old white men can punch young black dudes, the people, and you don't comment, you don't say, "Hey, I don't support that, man. Don't do that." I want to separate myself from any of that.
You don't think that was happening when motherfuckers was throwing shoes at Bush? You don't think that was happening? And it wasn't being reported the same?
In Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah, dude tried to shoot-nate him.
So when Cass found out that Reagan was, you know what I'm saying, doing what not Reagan, Bush was doing what he was doing, and they was up against him. It wasn't happening here. That was just overseas.
I don't recall no Bush rallies where old men were punching black people in their face. I didn't see it. There was a lot of press.
That was, you didn't see it.
I didn't see, but there was a lot of cameras that never showed that.
So again, what I'm talking about is the press. Like I feel like this. As much as Trump is our enemy, right? I think that the media, the Associated Press, is even more our enemy.
Hey.
And I have to question the media, right? Because I'm able to look at what Trump did, and he did nothing more than any of the other presidents did, including Obama. But I'm looking at the difference. That the way the press is.
He punched at a Bush rally when George Bush Jr. was running. You seen white people
I
thought
it was a black lady.
At a George Bush rally, they got punched.
No, at a Trump.
That's Trump. I'm talking about Bush.
No, I ain't seen nothing.
I didn't see that.
I mean, here's what it didn't happen.
Said you the only
we
one.
can talk a whole lot of shit about you, but if I didn't see it, because you didn't see it don't mean shit. It just don't mean you seen it.
That's why I said I didn't see it.
But that's why
I asked him, did he?
But I asked you, have you ever seen a plane crash?
No.
Right. You haven't. No, I haven't. But do planes crash? Yes. So because I haven't seen it, don't mean shit. It just mean I didn't see it.
He said I'm the only one. I don't know what Ramon is talking about. Shout out to Jacquet Forte. He said that's what the media showed you and they don't like. I'm going to that with it. Stop it, Ramon. Stop it with that. Stop it. I'm not going to go into that with you. You finna have that conversation. You ain't, no. Stop it.
Ramon, I don't disagree with you. That's kind of what we was talking about. He don't want to talk about that. We go to the next topic.
Actually, that's it. Unless y'all got something. You got something you want to pop on?
Yeah, make sure y'all get y'all elderberry. He like it. Dre Day. Shout out to Dre Day. Shout out, man. Yeah, but make sure y'all get y'all elderberry syrup. Wash y'all hands. Stay peaceful.
They said don't touch your face.
You're right. Yeah, don't touch your face. You know what I'm saying? But you know you want to stay peaceful, man. Do everything natural that you can. You know,
what's the number so they can get the
shit, whether you hug a tree or put your feet in the dirt, do something. You know, call me for your elderberry syrup. You know, let's link up. You need to get some of this. Everybody, we all need to boost our immune systems, man. Anyway,
and now everything's closed, so if they can't, like everything's about to be closed, they can't go to necessarily the outlets and get them.
That mean, you know, you need to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? We finna go. It's this quarantine and martial law stuff. We don't know when that's gonna happen. So, you know, make sure you hurry up and get it.
Okay.
Before it's too late.
What you got, Jay?
Man, listen, I am so grateful and appreciative, man. I get to hang out with these cats on Saturday night, man, and have a lot more smiles than cries. I appreciate all y'all, man, that's been showing me love, brother. Talk to teach, listen and learn, the Truth Transfer Engineer. Y'all stay tuned, right? So I appreciate the love, man. Thank you, and thank y'all for letting me be here, man. Love.
We'll be back Wednesday. Shout out to Liz, Black Girl Magic. Shout out to Dre Day. Shout out to Connie Becker. Felicia, welcome. Shout out to her and everybody who supported us, man.
Yes.
Hit me up, inbox me. I got the hoodies on deck.
Yeah.
If you want to get down. Shout out to Ghetto.
Well,
Holler at me and Ghetto holler all the time. Shout out to Chris Johnson and Kingfish MKE.
Hey.
You know, a song with a pen. You say war without bloodshed. So shout out to him. Shout out to my brother Bear Meat.
What up, Bear Meat?
Westside Zeladon, man, and all of the black candidates and all of the black people out there. It's about what you swallow. I see y'all.
Peace. Wakanda forever.
No, who says that? Who says that?
I just
You motherfuckers.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just now finishing up at the